In life, vision is the cornerstone of success. You can have all the skill, all the talent, all the opportunities, but without vision, you're like a ship sailing without a rudder. You're drifting, directionless, vulnerable to the tides and winds of external circumstances. A clear vision, however, gives you the power to focus, to harness your energy, and to propel yourself forward with purpose. It's the map that guides your every decision, the compass that keeps you aligned, and the lens through which you'll interpret the world around you. A vision is not simply a wish or a vague dream. It is a clear, concrete picture of what you want your life to look like, and it's grounded in your deepest aspirations. It's the image of the future that you create in your mind, but it also comes from the depths of your heart and spirit. Vision is where the divine intersects with the practical. It comes from the place of faith, but it requires the work of your hands. There's a reason why the Bible tells us, where there is no vision, the people perish. This isn't just a spiritual statement. It's a profound truth that applies to every area of life. A lack of vision leads to chaos, confusion, and ultimately, failure. When you don't know where you're going, you're more likely to be distracted by the noise around you, to be overwhelmed by obstacles, and to quit before you even start. Vision is what prevents you from being a victim of circumstance. It's what helps you rise above your limitations and your setbacks. Now, starting with a clear vision doesn't mean you have to have all the answers. In fact, you may not know exactly how everything will unfold, and that's okay. The beauty of vision is that it's a step-by-step process. You may not see the full path ahead, but you can see the next step, and that's enough. It's like walking in the dark with a flashlight. You don't need the entire landscape illuminated. You just need enough light to take the next step forward. The most important thing is to be clear about what you want. Clarity is power. If you want to achieve success in the next month, or any time frame for that matter, you must be precise about what you're aiming for. You cannot succeed at something you haven't defined. So, ask yourself, what does success look like for you in the next 30 days? What specific goals do you want to reach? What kind of person do you want to become? When you're clear on the answers, your mind will start working to find solutions. Doors will begin to open, and opportunities will present themselves in ways you never imagined. A clear vision also brings discipline. The clearer the vision, the easier it is to say no to distractions and yes to what really matters. The temptation to be sidetracked by irrelevant pursuits is always there, but when your vision is crystal clear, those distractions lose their power. When you know exactly where you're going, you don't have time to waste on things that don't align with your goal. The beauty of vision is that it transcends time. Your vision for success today doesn't have to be limited by what's happened in the past. No matter where you've been, your vision gives you the power to reimagine your future. You have the ability to shift your perspective and begin building the life you desire, starting today. You don't have to wait for a better season or a different set of circumstances. Right now, in this moment, you have the ability to decide what your future looks like. However, vision is not just about seeing a picture in your mind. Vision requires action. It's one thing to dream, it's another thing to do. You have to take that vision and make it tangible by turning it into specific, actionable steps. That's why having a clear vision isn't just an abstract concept. It's a living, breathing plan that shapes the choices you make every single day. Let's be clear, though, vision does not guarantee success automatically. Just because you can see it doesn't mean it will happen without effort. Your vision is the beginning, but it must be followed by relentless action. It will require sacrifice, discipline, and hard work. But that's the beautiful part of having vision. Because you can see the end result, you'll be more motivated to keep pushing through the challenges. Your vision will be the fuel that drives you through the days when you're tired, when you're discouraged, and when everything seems impossible. As you step into this month success plan, I urge you to ask yourself, what is your vision for the next 30 days? What do you want to achieve? What kind of person do you want to be by the end of this month? Start with that vision. Hold it in your heart and in your mind. Let it shape the decisions you make. Let it propel you forward when doubt creeps in. A clear vision will keep you focused, and it will give you the strength to overcome any obstacles that stand in your way. You see, the greatest gift you can give yourself is the power of a focused mind and a defined purpose. A clear vision will not only guide you to success, it will also transform you from the inside out. It will renew your mind, revive your spirit, and restore your hope. So, take a moment today to define your vision, because the next step of your journey begins with a clear and unwavering focus on where you want to go. Discipline is the cornerstone of success, more powerful than motivation or even desire. Desire is the spark that ignites your dreams, but discipline is the fire that keeps burning long after the excitement has faded. Motivation is often fleeting. It can come and go like the wind, stirred by external circumstances or a passing moment of inspiration. But discipline, my friend, is what sustains you when the winds of motivation are calm. It's the unshakable commitment to stay on course, even when you don't feel like it. Many people start with great enthusiasm, setting ambitious goals for the future. The excitement of a new project, a new venture, or a new month fills their hearts with passion and energy. But what happens when the initial thrill wears off? What happens when obstacles arise, when setbacks occur, or when the journey feels harder than they imagined? This is when discipline becomes essential. Discipline is the ability to continue moving forward even when the thrill of the beginning has passed. It's what keeps you going when the path gets tough, when distractions start to creep in, or when your energy begins to fade. Discipline is not just about willpower. It's about developing habits that align with your goals. It's about designing your life so that your actions consistently move you closer to where you want to go. You see, habits are the building blocks of success. It's the little things you do every day that compound over time to create monumental results. The person you are today is a direct result of the habits you've formed. If you want to see change, if you want to see growth, if you want to see success, you must develop habits that support your vision. A person with discipline doesn't wait for the right conditions to act. They act in spite of the conditions. They don't wait for inspiration to strike. They work even when the inspiration is lacking. Discipline is not about waiting for the stars to align. It's about aligning your actions with your goals regardless of what's happening around you. It's about choosing to do what needs to be done, whether or not you feel like doing it. It's easy to feel inspired when things are going well. It's easy to set goals and dream big when everything feels possible. But what separates the successful from the unsuccessful is the ability to stay disciplined when things aren't going as planned. Success doesn't happen overnight, and it certainly doesn't happen without effort. It happens because someone chooses to show up every single day, even when it's hard, even when it's inconvenient, even when it feels like progress is slow. It's that person's discipline that makes all the difference. The key to discipline is creating a routine that works for you. Your routine doesn't have to be rigid or strict, but it should be intentional. It should focus on the tasks and actions that bring you closer to your vision. Whether it's waking up early to work on your goals, committing to daily exercise, or setting aside time each day to learn and grow, your routine should reflect your priorities. Your routine is the foundation on which you'll build your success. And when you make discipline a part of your daily life, it begins to change the way you approach challenges. When things get difficult, discipline reminds you to stay focused. When temptation arises to procrastinate, discipline pushes you forward. When the excitement fades and doubt begins to creep in, discipline steadies your resolve and helps you keep moving, step by step, toward your goal. Discipline also involves making tough decisions, saying no to the things that don't align with your vision. There are always distractions that threaten to pull you off course. Social media, mindless entertainment, negative influences, these things can take up valuable time and energy, but when you develop discipline, you begin to guard your time fiercely. You stop saying yes to everything, and you start saying yes only to the things that align with your vision and purpose. Discipline requires self-control, but it's also about self-respect. It's about valuing your time and your future enough to take deliberate action today. It's about honoring the commitment you made to yourself to show up, to put in the work, and to push through the discomfort. Successful people understand that discipline is the price of progress. They understand that if they want to achieve their goals, they must consistently make the effort, even when it's hard, even when they'd rather do something else. And let's be real, discipline can be tough. It's easy to make excuses, to justify why you didn't do something, or to convince yourself that you'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow doesn't exist. Today is the only day you can act, and every moment you waste is a moment lost. The longer you delay, the harder it becomes to build momentum. That's why discipline is about choosing to act now, even if the results aren't immediate. Even if you don't see the fruits of your labor right away, discipline keeps you moving forward, one action at a time. The beauty of discipline is that it builds confidence. The more you show up and do the work, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable of achieving greatness. Every day you stay disciplined, you strengthen your ability to take on bigger challenges, to make bolder decisions, and to step into the person you were created to be. So, as you embark on this 1-month success plan, remember that discipline is the key that will unlock your potential. It's not about waiting for the right moment, the right feeling, or the right motivation. It's about doing the work every single day. When you commit to discipline, you commit to your future. You commit to the success that is waiting for you on the other side of your effort. And that, my friend, is where true transformation happens. Success is built upon the foundation of small, intentional actions taken every day. Many people overlook the power of daily progress, thinking that success comes from one monumental event or a big leap forward. But in reality, success is the cumulative result of countless decisions and actions, most of which seem insignificant in the moment. The truth is, the journey to success isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. It's the daily grind, the persistent steps, and the commitment to show up each day that ultimately leads to lasting achievement. Every great accomplishment begins with a single step, and then another, and then another. Over time, those steps add up. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not always talent, opportunity, or luck. It's the ability to show up consistently, day after day, no matter how small or insignificant the task may seem. When you commit to taking intentional actions each day, you begin to build momentum, and momentum, my friends, is a powerful force. It takes you from a place of inertia, where nothing is happening, to a place where progress becomes almost inevitable. It's easy to get caught up in the allure of big, dramatic actions. We often dream of achieving massive results in a short amount of time, but here's the thing. Rarely does success happen overnight. The truth is, while we may get excited about the idea of a quick fix or a shortcut, the real work is done in the trenches of daily effort. It's in the small, consistent steps that we build a future that's worth living. Every day you wake up and take that small, deliberate action, you're reinforcing the foundation of your success. This is where the power of routine comes in. A strong, positive routine keeps you on track, especially when motivation wanes. When you have a clear structure, a set of habits that guide you each day, you're less likely to get distracted by the noise of life. You no longer have to rely on motivation to keep you going because your routine becomes your anchor. The beauty of daily intentional actions is that they don't require perfection. What they require is consistency. Even on days when you feel tired, discouraged, or uninspired, your routine helps you push through. It becomes less about waiting for the perfect moment and more about taking the next step, no matter what. This is not to say that all of your actions will be monumental. Some days will be filled with tasks that feel small or even mundane. But every action, no matter how insignificant it seems, is a building block. It's laying the groundwork for something bigger. You may not see immediate results, and that's okay. The key is to keep going, to keep taking those steps, knowing that each one is pushing you closer to your goal. Small actions, when done consistently, create results that would have been impossible to achieve if you waited for the perfect moment or the right conditions. Think about the most successful people you admire. Do you think they got where they are by waiting for a moment of inspiration to strike? Or do you think they got there by making a series of small decisions to keep moving, even when things were tough? The answer is clear. Success is not about waiting for the stars to align. It's about doing the work, day in and day out, regardless of the circumstances. The daily actions that seem trivial now will compound over time, and soon enough, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. This principle applies to every area of life, whether it's in your personal growth, career, health, or relationships. If you want to achieve something, you must be willing to commit to the daily actions that will get you there. If you want to get healthier, you must take small, intentional steps each day. Whether that's eating a balanced meal, exercising for 30 minutes, or simply taking the stairs instead of the elevator. If you want to build a business, you must show up every day, even when things feel difficult, making calls, creating content, refining your strategies. If you want to develop your skills or grow in your knowledge, you must commit to reading, learning, practicing each day. One of the greatest traps people fall into is thinking that success is about doing something grand. It's easy to look at others who have achieved great things and think that they must have done something extraordinary to get there. But in reality, most successful people are just masters of consistency. They've built their success through the simple, everyday actions that most people overlook. They understand that success is not about a one-time effort. It's about committing to daily intentional actions, no matter how small, that add up over time. This is why it's so important to set small, achievable goals that you can work toward each day. If you aim for something too big or too far off in the future, it can be easy to get discouraged or overwhelmed. But when you break your goal down into smaller, bite-sized actions, it becomes much more manageable. You can focus on the next step the next day, and that makes the entire process feel more attainable. At the end of this month success plan, you'll look back and realize that the small decisions you made every day were the real secret to your progress. You'll see that each day of hard work, even if it didn't feel like much at the time, contributed to the person you've become and the success you've achieved. And that's the power of daily intentional actions. They build upon each other, layer by layer, to create something bigger than you could have ever imagined. So, as you step into this month, don't underestimate the power of the small, everyday choices you make. Keep showing up, keep doing the work, and trust that each action, no matter how small, is moving you one step closer to your ultimate goal. In the end, success is not about waiting for a breakthrough moment. It's about taking consistent, deliberate action every single day, and that's how real, lasting success is built. Pressure is a powerful force. Most people view it as something to be avoided, something that causes stress, discomfort, and even fear. But what if I told you that pressure isn't your enemy? It's your preparation. When you face pressure, it's not meant to break you. It's meant to build you. It's not a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's a sign that you're doing something right. The weight of pressure is not a punishment, but a part of the process that strengthens you for the greater purpose ahead. In every season of growth, you'll experience pressure. It's inevitable. Whether you're pursuing a new career, striving for personal development, or working on a dream, you will face challenges that seem bigger than you are. But here's the truth. You are never given pressure that you cannot handle. It's designed to stretch you, to grow you, and to prepare you for what's next. The challenges that seem overwhelming today will be the very things that shape you into the person you need to be tomorrow. Think about the process of refining gold. Gold, in its raw form, is nothing special. It's rough and dull, and it doesn't shine. But in order for it to become the precious metal that we value, it must first go through an intense process of heating, melting, and refining. The pressure and heat force impurities to rise to the surface, allowing the gold to become pure and valuable. If the gold were to avoid the pressure, it would remain useless and unrefined. In the same way, pressure in your life serves to refine your character, reveal your weaknesses, and help you grow stronger. The problem is that many people try to avoid pressure at all costs. They resist challenges, shy away from discomfort, and choose the easy path. But in doing so, they miss out on the opportunities that pressure brings. Growth does not happen in the comfort zone. It happens when you push yourself beyond your limits, when you step outside of what is familiar and face the challenges head on. Pressure forces you to rise above what you thought was possible. It forces you to discover the strength and resilience that you didn't even know you had. Let's be clear. Pressure doesn't always feel good. It often feels uncomfortable, stressful, and even painful, but that's the point. If you want to grow, you must be willing to endure the discomfort of pressure. It's in these moments that you discover your true potential. When life gets tough and the pressure mounts, you have two choices. You can shrink back, or you can rise to the occasion. Those who rise to the occasion understand that pressure is not meant to destroy them. It's meant to propel them forward. It's through the pressure that you're forced to tap into resources within yourself that you didn't know existed. Consider the example of athletes who train for peak performance. The training process is grueling, long hours, intense workouts, pushing their bodies to the edge. They feel the strain, the exhaustion, and sometimes even the pain. But they understand that this pressure is necessary to make them stronger, faster, and better. Without the pressure of training, they would never be able to compete at their highest level. In the same way, the pressure you face in life is shaping you to reach your highest potential. It's preparing you for the bigger opportunities that lie ahead. But there's something even more powerful about pressure. It brings clarity. When you're under pressure, you're forced to focus. The distractions that once seemed important suddenly fade away. When you face challenges, your priorities become clear and you realize what truly matters. Pressure strips away the superficial and exposes what is real and lasting. It forces you to deal with the things that you've been avoiding, and it reveals the strength you didn't know you had. Moreover, pressure helps you develop resilience. Life doesn't always go according to plan. Sometimes things don't work out the way you expect, and you'll face setbacks, failures, or unforeseen challenges. But it's through these moments that your character is built. It's easy to remain optimistic when everything is going well, but true resilience is forged when you face adversity. When you learn to stand firm under pressure, when you continue to move forward even when the road is rough, you build a foundation that will carry you through any storm. Now, let me be clear. There's a difference between destructive pressure and constructive pressure. Destructive pressure comes from unhealthy environments, toxic relationships, or negative self-talk. This type of pressure breaks you down and keeps you in a state of fear and anxiety. But constructive pressure is the pressure that comes from stepping outside of your comfort zone, from pursuing something bigger than yourself, from challenging yourself to grow and become more. This is the pressure that refines you, strengthens you, and prepares you for success. In your 1-month success plan, you will undoubtedly face pressure, the pressure to perform, to meet deadlines, to stay consistent, and to make progress, but don't shy away from it, embrace it. Know that every challenge you encounter is an opportunity for growth. Every moment of discomfort is preparing you for something greater. It's through this pressure that you will become the person you need to be in order to achieve the success you desire. Understand that pressure is not your enemy. It is your ally. It is the force that sharpens your skills, strengthens your resolve, and propels you forward. So when the pressure mounts, don't retreat. Stand tall, embrace the discomfort, and know that every ounce of pressure you face is preparing you for the next level. You are being refined, you are being molded, and you are being made ready for the greatness that awaits you. The power of consistency cannot be overstated when it comes to achieving success. It's easy to get caught up in the idea of a dramatic break through moment or a singular act that will propel us toward our goals. We tend to romanticize the idea of an overnight success, the kind of success that seemingly appears out of nowhere, as if one grand effort is the key to greatness. But the truth is, success is almost never the result of a one-time effort. It's not the grand gestures or the monumental leaps that move us forward. It's the consistent, everyday actions that compound over time and ultimately lead to the realization of our dream. When you think about the most successful people in the world, you'll quickly realize that their achievements were built on a foundation of small, consistent actions. Consistency isn't glamorous. It doesn't attract the same attention as a bold move or a big win. But it's the quiet, steady progress that lays the groundwork for success. It's the everyday effort, the ability to show up time and time again, that leads to growth and eventual breakthrough. The beauty of consistency lies in its simplicity. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every day. You don't have to find new, exciting ways to achieve success every time you wake up. Success doesn't require perfection. It requires persistence. It's about doing what needs to be done, day in and day out, without fail. It's about showing up when you don't feel like it, continuing even when the results aren't immediate, and staying committed to the process, even when it feels like you're not making any progress. The power of consistency is rooted in the fact that small, incremental improvements over time lead to extraordinary results. Think about something as simple as learning a new language. You're not going to become fluent in one day, no matter how much time you devote to it in a single sitting. But if you commit to practicing the language every day, even if it's just for 15 minutes a day over time, your understanding will grow and fluency will follow. This principle applies to everything in life, whether it's building a business, getting in shape, improving your relationships, or developing new skills. Progress happens when you commit to consistent effort, no matter how small. One of the most difficult things about consistency is that the results aren't always immediate. In the early stages of any endeavor, it can feel as though you're not making any progress at all. You put in the work, you stay focused, and yet the results seem slow to come. It's during these moments, when the initial excitement wears off, that most people give up. They stop showing up, they abandon their goals, and they start looking for shortcuts or quicker ways to success. But those who succeed are the ones who push through these moments. They understand that consistency is a long-term game. They know that the results will eventually come, but they must be patient and continue the process. The key to consistency is embracing the daily routine. It's not about waiting for motivation to strike. It's about creating habits that support your goals. When your actions become routine, they no longer feel like a challenge. You don't have to think about it or wait for the perfect mood to take action. You simply do what needs to be done. Whether it's waking up early to work on your goals, carving out time in your day to invest in your personal development, or sticking to a health regimen, consistency is about embedding these actions into your life in a way that they become second nature. Another powerful aspect of consistency is that it builds momentum. When you consistently put in the effort, you begin to create a snowball effect. Each action, no matter how small, propels you forward and gives you more energy to keep going. When momentum is on your side, everything becomes easier. You start to see results, and those results fuel your desire to keep going. But this momentum doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, effort, and a commitment to showing up consistently. Consistency also builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. When you make a promise to yourself and follow through on it day after day, you start to trust in your own ability to follow through. You build confidence, and this confidence becomes a driving force that propels you toward your goals. The more you keep promises to yourself, the stronger your belief in your own ability to succeed becomes. And as your trust in yourself grows, so does your ability to take on bigger challenges, make bolder decisions, and push past your limits. There's also a profound sense of satisfaction that comes from being consistent. In a world that often prioritizes instant gratification, consistency teaches you the power of delayed reward. It teaches you that the journey is just as important as the destination, and that the true value lies in the daily process of growth. Every day that you show up and do the work, you are becoming the person who is capable of achieving your goals. You are molding your character, refining your skills, and laying the groundwork for success. The satisfaction that comes from knowing you're making progress, even when it's slow, is something that cannot be easily taken away. One of the most important aspects of consistency is the ability to stay flexible. While consistency is crucial, life is unpredictable. There will be times when unexpected events, distractions, or obstacles arise. It's important to remain adaptable and adjust your approach when necessary. Consistency doesn't mean rigidity. It means commitment to the process, even when the process changes or needs adjustment. Life may throw curveballs, but consistent effort ensures that you're always moving forward, no matter what comes your way. In your 1-month success plan, consistency will be your greatest ally. There will be days when you feel like giving up, when you question whether it's worth it, or when the results seem distant. But if you stay consistent, if you keep showing up even when things don't seem to be moving fast enough, you'll begin to see the fruits of your labor. Success isn't about quick fixes or shortcuts. It's about showing up every single day, putting in the work, and trusting that, over time, your efforts will pay off. The power of consistency lies in its ability to create lasting change, build momentum, and bring you closer to the life you've always dreamed of. So keep showing up, keep doing the work. Your future self will thank you. As we conclude this journey through the 1-month success plan, let me remind you of the key truths we've uncovered. Success is not an accident or a one-time event. It is the result of intentional, consistent actions taken over time. Each step you take, no matter how small, is a building block that shapes your future. You must understand that growth comes from within, and it's your commitment to the process that will propel you toward your goals. The pressure you face along the way is not your enemy, but your preparation. It's what refines you, shapes your character, and strengthens your resolve. Embrace pressure, because it's an indicator that you're pushing boundaries and expanding your limits. It's through pressure that you become the person capable of achieving greatness. Consistency is the quiet but powerful force that drives long-term success. It's not about doing something extraordinary once in a while. It's about showing up every single day, even when the results aren't immediate. It's through consistent effort that you build momentum, gain trust in yourself, and begin to see the results of your hard work. As you embark on this month, remember that the journey is just as important as the destination. Be patient with yourself. Stay committed to your vision, take daily intentional actions, and trust that every step, no matter how small, is a step toward your ultimate success. Understand that true success is not born out of haste or shortcuts, but from the consistent, determined effort to keep moving forward, even in the face of challenges. I want you to finish this month knowing that you've laid a strong foundation for a future that you've crafted with your own hands. Success is in your power, it's within your reach, and it begins with your commitment to do the work. Keep pressing forward. You are stronger than you think, and the world is waiting for the greatness that lies within you. So go ahead and take the first step today and never look back. Your success story is already in the making.